What's up, guys? Geno's Gadgets here today with a tech news update. We've had quite a few stories today to cover, so I'm going to jump right in. The first news story is about Tesla. So Tesla Motors just announced their Model 3, and they announced it actually back last year, but they actually had an unveiling of a sort. And actually had the first production models come off of the assembly line. So they had kind of a closed door session that was semi-open to the media, but very, very tight-lipped, and only a few media outlets were actually allowed in. But basically, they had the Tesla Model 3s there. They had both models, both the base model and the advanced long-range model. They are really different from some of the other Tesla models just because Teslas tend to be pretty expensive cars, a little out of most people's price range. But these are a little bit more affordable. So the base model is starting at $35,000 and it has a range of 220 miles per charge. And then the advanced long range version comes in at $44,000, so a $9,000 increase, but you did get 310 miles per charge, and 0 to 60 times are really impressive even on the base model. 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds and a top speed of 130 miles per hour. So that's pretty quick for production cars, as electric cars tend to be. If you pre-order now, it looks like your pre-order would be you'd be taking delivery in late 2018. So that's how far they are back as far as getting production models off. But they are ramping up production, and Elon Musk and his crew are really ramping up to get to the point to where they're closer to where traditional assembly line vehicles to those production rates of companies like Ford and Chevy. So next story is coming from Bloomberg, is reporting Apple's quarterly results, which were actually they actually exceeded expectations. So it looks like the quarterly revenue was $45.4 billion. They sold somewhere in the neighborhood around 41 million iPhones, 11.4 million iPads, and 4.2 million Mac computers. So those are pretty impressive numbers from Apple for the quarter, and their projections for their fourth quarter of the fiscal year are actually pretty impressive as well. And I think that's mainly due to the release of the iPhone 8, or whatever it's going to be called, in the third quarter. Also, speaking about iPhone and iPhone 8, there is a clone device that's popping up online everywhere. You guys may have seen some videos or stories online, but apparently there are iPhone 8 clones. And they are exactly that. They're not the actual iPhone 8. And there's usually a disclaimer in most of the videos or stories to just kind of clarify that. But basically, the manufacturers of these devices basically took the renders and the specs and what they think the new iPhone is going to be like, and basically made renders. So there's quite a few videos. I'll put the link to one of those in the description below in the video if you want to check that out. Also, next up, Sprint, the parent company for Sprint, a company called SoftBank, out of China, is looking for another suitor to basically merge the company with. Right now, it looks like the front runners are Charter Communications. They are still leaving the door open for T-Mobile and a possible merger there. I know the FCC, there's some difficult things to work out on that side, but it is still a deal that could be done. If the regulatory powers that be see fit. I would like to see a merger with someone from Sprint. Don't know if I want to, see one from T-Mobile, just because I actually kind of like the fact that there's 4 different carriers out there. Don't know if that would be a big win for general consumers like yourself and myself. But looks like maybe someone like Charter Communications or another cable company that could be a good fit. And last but not least, the Galaxy Note 8. There's been a ton of different renders out there and rumors, but there is one individual who we take pretty seriously when he does a leak of any kind of device, and that's Evan Blass. Evan Blass is reporting that the Galaxy Note 8 he's basically posting a picture with the final design. You have a really nice 6.3 inch QHD Infinity screen, Snapdragon 835, 6 gigabytes of RAM, dual camera setup that looks really cool. It's kind of packaged in a black box on the back of the phone, and instead of separated like before on the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S8 Plus. So it looks pretty neat. I'll put a link in the description below on that as well. And last, I wanted to basically see if I could get some feedback from you guys on future videos. I want to post something on ecosystem, and just wanted to see which ecosystem that you guys have. If you have like all Apple devices, if you have like an iPad, an Apple TV or something like that, to where you can link your content and share your content between devices. If you are in LG's ecosystem, Samsung, any other companies like that, please share your experience in the comments below. Again, that's Geno's Gadgets Tech News Update for August the 2nd, and we'll see you guys in the next update.